We're coming to you live from the studio, and you're listening to
The Big
Picture Podcast.
And tonight we are chatting with Honey Ham Jam. Welcome, Honey Ham Jam. We're excited.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, thanks for having us.
So, how you guys doing? Who the heck are you guys?
We are Honey Ham Jam.
Over, done.
We're a band that was originally my idea when I was working at a gas bar during COVID and had kind of like a quarter-life crisis a little bit.
Wait, were you 20?
Hey, it depends on when it ends, right?
Hasn't yet, obviously.
Yeah, I was working at a gas bar just watching a bunch of like BoJack Horseman and shit like that. And eventually I was like, oh man, I haven't played with anybody. I don't have a band. Like, I barely know anybody. Okay, so I know Cameron, because I know Cameron from high school.
Yeah.
I watched Wen once at an open mic, and he was like just shredding. I didn't even know he liked funk at the time, so I asked him as well, and that was our initial lineup.
Yeah. Anthony came much later.
I was much later. I didn't know any of them for like. I didn't even know they existed, to be honest, at the beginning. And then there was like a bass coffee house, and then these guys saw me doing some vocal stuff, and then I saw Wen and them perform, and they were just like going nuts, and like everyone's like sitting down, but I was like about to stand up and like freak out and stuff, and like, and then it just worked out. Like they told me they wanted to do stuff with me, and then so I ended up joining.
I was actually like nervous to invite you to the
You were
band.
nervous to invite me?
Yeah, we go to school together, so we have a bunch of mutual friends. But I talked to Zach, and I was like, "Do you think Anthony would be into playing with us?" And he was like, "Yeah, probably." And I sent Anthony a text. I was like, "Could you rap for us?" I was like, "Yeah."
Yo. So can you guys all go around in a circle, maybe starting with you, and say your name and then the instrument you play and what you give to the band?
Okay. Well, my name is Nian. I play drums. And I give the beat for the band.
Yeah.
My name is Wenhao. I play bass. For me, it's the groove.
Yeah.
I like that for bass, yeah.
My name's Cameron, and I play guitar, and I fill in the blanks between those two.
And my name's Anthony. I do some saxophone stuff, but mostly like the vocals. So I say I bring a good punch.
Yeah.
Bring a good punch. Yeah.
That's how you make Honey Ham Jam.
Honey Ham Jam. Yeah. That's how you make it.
And who are your guys' greatest musical influences?
Ooh, I was thinking about this. I thought we should all say one for
Okay.
each of us. Because, like, ever since this band started, I've not been able to nail down the genre
It's a hot
of what we
Me
play.
Yeah.
And everybody brings something that is, like, really unique. So, I don't know. I think we all know what yours is.
Mine's Marcus Miller.
Yeah.
Yeah, jazz, funk bass player from New York. He's a really big inspiration of mine. Like he slapped the bass like crazy.
Yeah.
Plays groove, and when he solos, he goes nuts. Yeah.
His name's on your headstock.
yeah. And I was in one of the 0.01 top percent of his listeners on Spotify.
Wow.
Yeah.
True fan.
That's crazy.
I don't know. It's hard to pin down my most influential artist on myself. I don't know. It kind of seems to change over the years. I say right now I'm a pretty big fan of Mac DeMarco just because he's from Edmonton, and I can't find anybody else from Edmonton who's like, I don't know, fairly successful who isn't like a jazz musician or, you know. So, yeah, I like his music and kind of like the trippy sound that he produces on his records.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, go ahead.
You want me to go? Okay. I'd say mine's pretty different. Just because I was way more into like rap. Even like being in the music program, I didn't like get into jazz a lot. But what really got me into like rapping and like singing stuff, I'd say, it was like big inspiration was probably like Eminem and Drake growing up kind of thing. I know it's kind of mainstream. I know it's kind of mainstream, but like Drake, like, cause he did like a lot of vocal stuff. Like it wasn't just rapping; it was kind of like singing and stuff, like his older stuff a little bit. So that really got me into like as a kid, and then like I was just like really listening to that growing up. So yeah.
Oh, it has an influence,
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and like for me, I think there's definitely two sides of like Honey Ham Jam history, like before and after Anthony joined.
Yeah.
Because before we were mainly a trio, and we spent a lot of time busking because we couldn't get gigs because nobody knew who we were, and we played a lot of.
That's so cool though.
Yeah, well, we were just bored.
Yeah.
But we played a lot of Wolfpack stuff, and I am absolutely obsessed with Corey Wong, who's their lead guitar player. Enough so that I did like a presentation on it to a bunch of people and for a final last year and stuff like that.
Did his research.
Yeah, but then ever since Anthony joined, I don't have to do all the melody. I can do chord stuff. So I've been getting really into Mark Spear, who's the guitar player for Khruangbin. And we do a lot of Khruangbin covers too and stuff like that. Yeah, I feel liberated having another person on the team.
Nice. Glad to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The punch.
The punch.
And can you tell us a little bit about like what your guys' creative process is like when you're creating music?
You should go.
Yeah. Mine is so like it's so just like it just happens. Like I never like sit down and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna write a song. It's like I'm driving and I think of this line or something and I'm like voice memo while I'm driving.
Yeah.
Like I gotta get it down, right? Get it down, and then like I go to school, like I'll just be like in a practice room or something, and I write it, like maybe 35 minutes kind of thing. It just like really happens. So that's kind of my like, I guess process, because I really don't like every time we're rehearsing, we're like, hey, let's write a song. I have like nothing.
Nothing happens.
So
Nothing
true.
happens.
Yeah.
It's more of a
But then-
lifestyle. Like you do it throughout
It just-
living.
yeah,
There's no,
yeah.
you know, studying
That's
and
kind
then
of
living.
me.
There's just creation as you live. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like speaking of like just doing it, I have a voice memo on my phone of when we wrote one of our songs that, I mean, you wrote all the lyrics for like Ride With Me,
Yeah.
that one. And we kind of just created the song as we started it and just saw what happened and it just kind of happened and then that's the song.
Oops.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the voice memo, I go up to Anthony and I'm like, so how'd you write that? He's like, I just wrote it. I'm like, okay. Well, and it's like a really heartfelt song about like
Yeah,
taking
literally,
someone on
yeah.
a ride and it's like,
Yeah.
and then he's like, yeah, I don't know.
He's like, is it a bell song? I'm like,
Yeah.
not really. I don't know. It just kind of happened. Like, it's like, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I only ever write from like 2 to 4 a.m. So I'm always texting Anthony like lyrics and like little clips that I wrote, and I can't rap, and I'll rap something into my voice memos and like send it to Anthony.
Can you do this for me?
Yeah, please.
So how does it sound? I'm like, yeah, it sounds great. He's like, shut up, Ed. No, it does.
I love
It
the
sounds
dynamic.
great.
The trust too.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
It's easier for me when there's a like drum or melody going, and then I just play along with it.
Mm.
Yeah, and then fill the space or make it like up and down differently on the bass line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a team.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're a team.
It's kind of hard to start with bass and do everything with bass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, bass is like the cherry on top. Like you can't do anything without good bass.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's so funny. You know, I actually had this thought recently where, like, sometimes when people listen to music, they only either hear, like, the lyrics, or they only hear, like, the drum beat, or they only hear the guitar, and, like, sometimes when I'm dancing to music, I'll notice, like, I only dance to the drum beat, or whatever, you know, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys ever do that with your own instruments? Like,
Oh yeah.
for a drummer, you're, like, if you're dancing to music, you're dancing to the drum beat, or as a bassist, you know, you're, like, finding yourself, I recognize that bass in that song, is so good, kind of thing.
Well, I feel like Anthony and I get like the spotlight so much, but if we went to a gig and Anthony wasn't there, we could play, and if we went to a gig and I wasn't there, they could play.
Yeah.
But if either of you guys showed up, we'd have to cancel.
You guys did try to play one time for the funk jam without me, right?
Yeah, we filled in for a friend of ours working like an open mic, and we had to play with a different drummer because Nian was working that day, and that is probably one of the worst we've ever played. In our entire life.
Yeah.
It's bad. Me and Wen were just like looking at each other like, what the fuck is going on?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's hilarious. So what was your guys' first experiences in music like, and especially as a band coming into the music industry?
Oh my god. That was a long time ago.
It was a long time. But COVID too, right? Like,
Well, I mean, do you want to talk about like making the band? Because that was your thing.
Well, okay. Yeah, well, I kind of talked about it before, but yeah, Cameron and I had played a lot in high school. We know each other from high school, so we played a lot in jazz band. There was also another class called... What was it called? It was called House Band, but then it got Rock Band?
Yeah, they changed it to Rock Band, and it was neither of those things.
Oh, it was so bad. But yeah, we played with each other a fair bit. I think like at the end of first year, it's coming second year or something like that.
It was in like April of 2020. No, in May of 2020 that we started this thing.
Yeah.
And we didn't really even play that much in first year together.
No. But yeah, so I had known him for a very long time. We had been pretty comfortable playing with each other, so I was pretty confident that, if I brought this guy on board, I wouldn't have a complete shit show.
Something.
Yeah, I know him. I know his tendencies. So yeah, it was pretty easy and safe to bring in Cameron. And then, I didn't really know many people in first year when it came to bass players. Because one, it was first year, so everybody's freaked out and really busy with a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
And also, our second semester had been cut short because of COVID.
Yeah.
And
That's so annoying, hey? Especially for music. Like, how'd you guys do it?
Yeah.
We didn't. Nothing happened.
Shut down.
Exactly.
So I had seen Wen play once at one of the open mics at like Taverns, I believe it was the bar in MacEwan.
Oh, Towers.
Towers.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what song it was, but it was some bass solo song. You were just shredding the whole time, just really grooving to it, and I was like, all right.
Saw you from a distance.
Yeah, basically. And he was also one of the only people who had come up to me and been like really nice. A lot of people in first year were kind of like vibing each other with a little bit of a rivalry, like, are you really that good? Like, why are you in the music program?
There was so much drama too.
Yeah, there was a lot.
And then all the people that caused drama just kind of like fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah, they took the diploma and left.
I remember in first year, I just forgot about this, but I used to throw these parties where I'd book people from like school to play at the party, and I'd like clear out my whole main floor and set up like a drum kit and stuff and all the amps, and we'd play. And the second party, I think, one of our mutual friends who's not in the program anymore, you remember Kristen? She came up to us, and I was sober, she was drunk, and Wen was completely fucked. Like, completely out of his mind.
Really?
And Kristen,
I wish I was there, man.
And Kristen came up to us and was like, do you guys want to start a band? And I was like, yeah, sure. And Wen was like, oh my god, yeah! You said something to me that I had no idea what it was. Like, it was slurred, and it wasn't even in English.
It might be Mandarin.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it was a Mandarin. And then you like hugged me, and then you like left. I didn't see you for the rest of the night. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I guess we're in a band now. And I was so stoked because Wen was so excited, and then Kristen never made any plans, and then we ended up making a band anyways in like 2 months. So yeah.
I've never seen you under the influence.
It's really fun. It's
I was
so
at
fun.
the party.
You missed out.
I think
So
it was
sad.
just natural.
Natural?
Sounds like it was a great party.
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy. Our collective shoes nearly got puked on by a certain.
Oh my god. Yeah, I had to like airlift people out of that party
It
too.
was crazy. The party ended with vomit.
Yeah.
That's how you know it was a
You
good
know,
night.
next time.
Yeah. The original question was talking about our
Right
first
off start.
experience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well then we should talk about the Grindstone show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Because we, after the Bass Coffee House that we saw Anthony rap at, we were like, hey, we need to get this guy on. And
we did
we did one horrible
the
gig.
Buck.
Yeah, we did a terrible gig at the Buck.
The Buck.
And there was a
Was it open mic night at the bar?
No. It was supposedly paid, but we didn't get paid in advance. And there was a snowstorm that night, so we played to like 10 people. And we were really loud, and everyone was like, what the hell is going on in here? It was super awkward. But, like, Anthony did, like, great. And that wasn't the issue with the gig.
the set was great.
Yeah, the set was, we sounded,
But there was just, like, nothing
There was
going on.
nothing happening.
It was
You're
like
like,
a VIP show, yeah.
let's throw your hands up. And everyone's like,
Yeah. There's no one there.
Yeah.
Put your hands up. It's pretty funny.
But yeah, and then we got booked at the Grindstone, which is like a comedy theater just off of
What a
Whiteout.
cool place, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
honestly, I live right across the street from there, so I'd always go
Yeah.
there for their karaoke nights or
Okay.
whatnot.
Oh, no, I didn't even know they
So
had
much
those.
improv, dude.
Yeah, and when we got there, and I was like, all right, we got this whole big new set and stuff. And what we were gonna do was just kind of have Anthony come in right at the end for like the last like 4 or 5 songs.
Yeah.
And we're playing this huge hour-long set. And we got to the end, and the grandstand was filled for us, that was really amazing. Like, it was such a cool room to have, like, completely full up.
Yeah, it's just a box theater.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, everyone was standing.
Acoustic-wise.
And it was like seeing everybody like right here is so weird to me too. But everyone blew up when Anthony came on, so we're like, I kind of got to keep this guy.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. There was like these 3 guys sitting beside me, and I was just sitting in the crowd the whole time while the 3 of them were playing. And then we come on, or they're like, yeah, we're gonna bring Anthony up. These guys are like loaded, right? They're just like just having a good time.
Yeah.
They look over like, what the? And then I go up there and then I come off, and they're just like freaking out. They're like, you were sitting beside us the whole time, like, no way, man. Like, and it was so funny. I was just like, yeah, I was just doing my thing, like it's not big deal. But there, it was really fun.
Famous.
So, yeah, they're like these middle-aged guys. It was pretty funny.
Yeah. I like how every time there's a break between songs, we could hear them be like, that was sick.
Yeah. Like, yo, these guys are killer, man. Like, oh, it's really good. It's pretty funny, but
It's legit good, but
Yeah.
But that was probably our first show as a with
team.
me in there,
Yeah.
So, and then after that, people like knew I was, I guess, part of the band too, kind of thing. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And what do you guys have new planned coming up for the summer? Anything?
I was thinking about that. I still don't know if we can talk about that one thing that we signed the contract. You can? Yeah?
I think
okay.
so.
We
made it official.
Didn't we sign it?
Yeah, we signed an agreement.
A contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
It's not a
contract.
Jump out of my
But
socks here.
what day is it on? Is it 21st? I think it's...
I can't tell you the date.
You'll have to look it up. I'm going to say July 21st, but we're playing in Taste of Edmonton.
Yeah.
And we're the very first band to open up in...
the whole festival.
Yeah, the whole festival. And I'm really just praying that we get free food from the whole thing.
Yeah.
But the funniest thing is how we got that gig. We played... We played this like Christmas market at Fort Edmonton in December, and we played all Christmas songs, and Anthony sang like
Let It Snow
and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and stuff. And this dude dressed as
but first we were playing like some funk stuff.
Oh yeah.
And
like some heart.
So it was like the guy before was like just one guy acoustic guitar. He's like singing nice Christmas songs, right? Yeah. So I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna completely change the vibe. Right?
Yeah,
like,
and there's like
little kids like having their like maple sticks, right?
And speakers spread around the entirety of Fort Edmonton Park.
So then they just start and they're just like bumping, like it's like loud, right? And then I'm like, oh my god, like people are looking and they're just like kind of like, whoa, what's going on? And then this Santa Claus walking around just walks up to us. Yeah. Like once I get on stage, right? And
which is kind of ominous.
Yeah. And all he did was like point at me and he's like, come here. Right? I was like, oh no. Yeah. I was pretty scared. I thought he was gonna tell us like turn down or something like.
Keeps you cold.
Yeah. But then and then he's like, I'm the talent buyer for Taste of Edmonton. You guys sound amazing. Like I heard the bass and I had to come over here.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, like it sounds good. Like, and he's like, come talk to me later. And I was like, okay. So then, these guys were all like prepared for bad news. Right?
Just shitting ourselves. We couldn't hear them. They were so far away.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh god, we're like getting this. We're not getting paid.
Yeah.
Like, and then we're getting kicked out. And then Cameron's like, yeah, we're like got this whole gig. Speaking of Wen's bass playing, I think your playing has gotten us more gigs than like anything else we've ever done.
Hey, I finally got a compliment from Aviary.
Oh yeah.
I finally got a compliment.
Yeah, that's so
it's been a long journey, but
that's probably like
how you know you made it.
Yeah, that's the big thing we're doing this summer.
You got a compliment at the Aviary?
No, well,
we commented on our thing.
Phil!
Yeah.
God, Phil's got some, he knows what's good, so.
You got his shots at the end.
Woo!
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Rain took your shot.
Yep, no alcohol.
Yeah. That's like our biggest thing. And then we got we're trying to get some more originals out now that we have some bigger shows.
And we hopefully have some festivals coming up, but we haven't gotten those confirmed yet.
Genesis.
Do you guys have any?
Oh yeah, we got one festival coming up. We got Genesis Festival.
Sure.
Woo!
Which isn't announced yet, and there is not a date yet.
Oh.
But Genesis Festival, late August, early September, Starlight Room.
Yeah.
I'll be there!
Yeah.
Have you guys ever looked into the Found Festival?
Found.
Yeah, it's like this really weird festival where they kind of place little bands in weird parts of the city, so you have to kind of find them. It's kind of cute.
That sounds
And
like...
so they give you a lot of like backyard locations or like patio locations. You guys should definitely look it up.
Yeah,
And they do all sorts of different kinds of bands too.
Yeah.
So. And if you're like a MacEwan music student, you guys know it already. Like that's pretty much all I've ever seen at those festivals.
Oh, okay.
So, that's why I was asking.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Look it up. For the next question, though, I'm really wondering, how do you guys find the inspiration for your songs, for your music? How do you guys create?
I'm gonna say Anthony is like the songwriter out of all of us.
Oh,
We arrange stuff and like we just kind of figure it out on the fly, but Anthony like writes the stuff, so I don't know. I don't have a creative process.
Yeah, like back to how I just like kind of do it on the spot thing. Like, there is something that like does happen. Like it's usually listening to a different song or something, and then I try to like write onto that song, and then kind of get like the vibe of that song, and then I use that to like create something else myself. So, but then like at the same time, it kind of happens like when it happens, just because not every song is gonna hit every time, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But that's usually how I write mine. Like Ride With Me, I wrote. What song was I listening to? I was listening to a song. I can't remember the name of the song, but I was listening to one, and then I like thought of a couple lines based off that song, and then I kind of wrote a song based on that. So that's kind of how.
Yeah,
my
I mean that's like
creative
kind of how we
process
do it too. Like the one we don't have an official name for it yet, but Band Room.
Yeah.
Like the one time, it's based off a song called Band Room.
Yeah.
We haven't renamed it yet.
But that song's based on like just a random jam that they did, right?
Yeah, and we do this thing where like we take a song and we cover it, and then it just like transforms into something so different, and we never rename it.
No.
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess it's not originals, but it's still it's like something.
Yeah,
It's
it is
funny you say
something.
that, yeah. It's so true that copying is really almost the best way to create sometimes.
Yeah.
You feel ashamed, like, oh, I copied or something, but truly it's the best way to create.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's like creating something new.
Yeah.
Too from
Yep.
it. Like
It never really turns out the same anyways, like you guys said. You had no idea how it was going to turn out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We still have that one chord progression that I brought in one time that we haven't done anything.
I have a lick that we brought in that one time too.
Yeah.
We've just been
There's a lot
lazy
of stuff
about
that's in there. Yeah, it's just got to get worked on though.
I have like 1,000 like music files that are like half filled, and we just haven't even like touched them in weeks.
how can we listen to your music?
Oh yeah, this is an issue that we have. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, come to the shows. Come to the shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can come see us locally. We have a show at 9910 on May 4th, and the Taste of Edmonton show on the 21st of July, I think. But we're not on Spotify or Apple Music yet, but that's coming very soon.
Yeah.
We are on YouTube a bit though. We have a lot of live stuff on YouTube, so you can just watch us busk and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is almost more.
I guess
fun.
like this summer almost, like I think we're really planning to
look
look
planning on
into
dropping
recording
stuff.
and like getting originals out. So
Are you guys still going to be busking too?
We don't know. We always
It's
bus.
so magical for me to come across.
We busk out of boredom.
Yeah,
Oh my god, I remember you coming and watching us bus now.
Oh my god, do you remember me
I
dancing?
just recognized you.
I was the only person there.
Oh my god, I remember that. I was in the middle of a solo and I looked up and you're like 10 feet in front of me and everybody else is there and I was like, oh.
That's the way I like to
Oh,
listen to
God.
live music. People get shy and I'm like,
Alright,
no,
yeah,
take it in
okay,
for
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
We have
Take
cross
it
paths,
in.
okay.
That's
I do remember that.
funny. We've crossed paths.
Well, and your
on
hair is
multiple
distinctive.
occasions.
Yeah, exactly,
that
yeah.
too, that too. Hey, pink-haired girl.
That's so
Sometimes I get
weird.
that in that general area too.
Oh.
Like,
That's so funny.
Can't change it now.
Too funny.
We've gotten better since then.
Yeah.
I'm gonna point that out. So that was like 2 years
Are you
ago.
kidding me? Because that was the type of music where I heard it from afar. I was like, what is that sick jam? As I was walking closer, I was like, this is sounding good. What the hell is this? My boyfriend was with me at the time. He doesn't, even though we were living on White Ave, he didn't like walking into all the people and all the things happening. So he was very against walking towards the music. And I was like, bitch, no, you're coming with me right now. Right now. And then you guys had the perfect little space there,
Yeah.
like back in the corner, and it was shaded, and there was like, just
Yeah.
perfect place to dance.
Yeah. Speaking of like hearing music from afar, I'm gonna exclude you again.
Yeah,
This is,
that's
like,
fine. This is all
a year and a half
before
ago.
me. Yeah.
But do you guys remember that one time we covered a lot of Wolfpack in our first year, and we were playing Cory Wong, which is a song that I finish by like jumping as hard as I can, and like I get like really crushed on my guitar. Whatever, it's like the show that we put on. And there's a dude that was driving by right next to where we were playing, and he turned around and we started packing up. and he came over and was like, oh my god, I'm a bass player, and I love Wolfpack so much. And I was like, do you guys have anything else we can play? And whenever we're packing up, we usually been out there for like 4 or 5 hours, and we're like really tired, and we're like, yeah, sure. And we played Deantown, which is this song that we use to warm up, and it's almost become like a joke amongst our friends that we won't stop playing the song, because it's really hard, kind of, but it's like really fast and stuff. And one was just ripping it up on this one thing, and the dude was just staring at us playing. And I'm like, that was the funniest thing to me. That all the rest of the crowd had already left, because we had already played the song. And there's this one dude just like, oh my god.
Encore.
Yeah.
We played for that one dude.
Yeah, exactly. It's so funny.
Yeah,
VIP settings, literally.
Yeah.
We've had some pretty weird encounters on White. I remember one time Wen got quarters thrown at him by these really
Oh
drunk
yeah, there's
guys.
like a gaggle of drunk guys, and one is in a solo, and they're throwing dimes and quarters at him.
Oh my god.
Like, we have a box right in front of us.
Yeah.
And then a few other times it's been a little bit sketchy, because since we're right beside, is it the library behind us? What is
Yeah,
it?
so it's right next to the Strathcona Farmers Market. So
The Red
Wil-
Barn is there.
yeah, at Wilbert McIntyre Park, and we always play at the end against the red brick wall.
Yeah. One time, there's been a few occasions where there's been some like sketchy people who
Yeah.
come right behind us. So while I'm playing, I kind of look behind us, watch them, whatever's going on. But generally, it hasn't really resulted in anything. People will come up and ask to play my drum set.
Oh my god.
But I generally say no, and they're not super angry. But one time when we were packing up, I nearly got jumped.
Yeah, that was terrible.
It was
What happened?
ridiculous. Just a bunch of drunk white guys pulled up in their car,
And they were just like,
staring at
"That's
me.
my drum set,"
Yeah.
and we're like, "Fuck off."
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really creepy.
Mine now.
I was just like, hey, Cameron, can you, like, stay?
Yeah, I just stood there.
Because I'm so slow at packing up because I'm a drummer. So, like,
Oh, yeah, I almost
gone
pieced
in their
out.
cars, like,
Oh,
and I'm still
God.
packing
Yeah,
up.
that was funny.
It's dark outside. And
Yeah.
It's bad.
Well, I remember there's a couple times that we made enough money to get lunch, and we're like super hungry on the street, and so you two or like someone like a group of us would go off and get food for everybody. There's one person manning like $10,000
Yeah.
of gear, and we're just like trying to entertain people so they don't steal from us.
Oh my god.
It sounds like a fun time. I gotta.
Yeah,
I gotta
why-
start busking. Yeah. Gotta
White
get in
out,
on it.
dude. That's scary.
It's unpredictable.
Like, someone's about to steal the stuff, so you just, like, grab a guitar and start playing tritones super
Yeah.
loud, like, help!
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
SOS!
That's so funny.
And who are you guys listening to locally?
Yeah, speaking of local.
Yeah.
This shout out time.
Shout out time! We
Shout
should
out
name
time.
this section Shout Out Time.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've named it too many
Some
times.
people will say like one person. Other people will have a list that goes.
I do have a list, but I want to hear you guys
120
first.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of MacEwan bands that we listen to. A lot of them perform at Polar Park, so that's a pretty big hangout for MacEwan students, as well as to listen to a lot of MacEwan student music.
Mhm.
So, of course, we listen to like GP, which you guys have had
Yeah.
on. They're great.
Plutus Platypus.
Number one fan.
We also listen to like other funk bands, like Down to Funk.
Love
Yeah.
them.
Like Daryl says lives. They're kind of more like math rocky.
Yeah, I haven't seen them, unfortunately.
Man, you should.
I should.
Also, Nick keeps coming to all of our gigs, so you have to return it to him.
Yeah.
He's a nice
Deal.
guy.
But like Medical Pilot and Misfortune Tellers, those are good friends of ours too.
Yeah. My sister plays in a band called Hercilia, so I
Yeah.
watch their shows a lot. She's a drummer for them.
What kind of music?
Like
Good.
good. it's like they
Your
always
sister
use.
you're talking about.
I know. I don't want to say the wrong. It's like rock, psychedelic, and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
What was the band name again?
Hercilia.
I just wanted to write it down.
Yeah.
It's also,
And
that's
then,
also their Instagram. It's just
Yeah,
Hercilia.
Hercilia. And then I listened to this girl named Heidi.
Yeah.
She went to MacEwan. She left with a diploma, but she has like really good like pop R&B stuff. So I listened to a lot of that.
Yeah, she
And,
was like too good to be in jazz. She
Yeah.
was like, I got the pop thing figured out. I'm gonna go like
Yeah,
release
yeah,
an
yeah.
album.
Yeah,
Holy
she's
shit,
really
alright,
good.
if you can, sure.
Yep.
And I've watched like my cousin does some rapping too. So and he works with these guys that have like a I guess like a collective kind of thing. So there's like this guy named Hazzy and this guy named Imagine who do like really cool R&B stuff too, and they're like releasing albums now and like EPs, so they're really cool. I like listening to their stuff and catching their shows. So yeah.
I love R&B too. So
I listen
such a
to.
vibe.
Oh, sorry. I listen to Mercy Funk and Sour.
Oh yeah, that's
Sour
and the Roman Trio.
So good.
Yeah,
Roman Trio.
The band that we share Wen with.
Yeah.
Oh, you're playing double set at the festival.
Yep.
We have partial custody over Wen.
Yeah.
Gotta be special to keep to yourselves.
You said you have a list?
No, you guys covered most of
Oh,
it.
okay. And also honorable mention Dirty Birds. We played with them.
Yeah, we played that terrible show at the Buckingham with them, and it wasn't terrible because of them. It was just again the snowstorm.
Oh, that's with Roman Trio too, right?
Yeah, Roman Trio was
Yeah.
headlining that one.
Yeah, that was a cold night. It was like minus 26 or something like that. Tuesday night, like
We didn't get paid.
like,
Yeah.
no pay.
Like,
That
just
was
people
funny.
who did come out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Props to them.
Yeah.
2 people that put their hands up when I said put your hands up.
Yeah.
Shout out to those.
Never
people,
forget
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too funny.
What about you, Lucy?
Local musicians. Let's see here. I guess I could mention B-Boy A, because he was a drummer there.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
a bit. You guys know about him?
He's
Yeah,
great.
I mean, like,
Talented.
Good
Yeah.
information.
if you talk about like new standards too, like his whole jam thing that's
Yeah.
coming up, that thing's crazy. We saw him play the other week.
He's insane. Other than that, I feel like every single time I'm mentioning like the same people over and over again.
Yeah.
I watched him
what about
play
you
at
guys?
like this. I watched him play at one of the last shows before COVID happened. It was with Iris with Please Be Nice.
Oh
It
yeah.
Yeah.
was such a crazy show because it was right when
Iris
people
was
had
crazy.
no idea what was going on with COVID.
Yeah.
So people were going in. It was this house party. The house party, you could smoke weed inside, but you couldn't smoke cigarettes. Some people were wearing gloves because they thought that you would get COVID
That would
from
help
gloves.
you for
And the show was in the basement, and it was just packed full of people, and the walls were all like moist and shiny. And like
Nice.
it was just Baboya there shredding drums for all these like hella faded people who only
Yeah.
listen to like R&B or like I guess hip hop and trap.
Yeah.
And so like they weren't very responsive to it, but like just watching him play was like, what the fuck? This is not your
Crazy.
crowd, man. Like
Yeah,
you were too good for this.
Yeah, that's how I feel every time I see actually good information.
Yeah,
Every time I see them
right?
play, I'm like, why am I here?
Yeah.
Like I don't deserve to be here.
Every time I've ever seen them play, the turnout has been like through the door. Like it's
That's-
hard to get
yeah.
into
B-boy
their
a
events.
superpower.
Yeah, what
Yeah.
the hell?
I wish.
Yeah.
That's a good job at it. Yeah. I remember them playing at a pizza shop once, and I was like, really? They're playing at Pinkarilla was what it was.
I love
And I was like, that's such a weird location. I show up, and there's a lineup out the door. You couldn't get in. And if you did get in, you were like pressed up
Yeah.
against everyone else. And I was like, what an odd but interesting space. And I like how it ended up being like, you know, kind of like really close with everyone. So it was an
Yeah.
intimate event because of
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Pizza and Baboya are a good combination.
Yeah.
Yeah. I will shout out one more person, Nick Lang. 'cause
Oh yeah, yeah.
Introducing myself.
Yeah.
He went to high school with you and
Yeah,
Nian,
Nian
right?
and I went to high school with this dude. He was a year older than us. But in jazz band, he played saxophone. And I played guitar and Nian played drums, obviously. And I actually hated him so much. Like, he made me so furious because he was so good that our band teacher, who did not really care about music, would be like, Nick, does that sound good? And Nick would be like, yeah, sounds good. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
I
it's
wrote
so
that.
mad. And
like
then
he backed it up is the thing. Right? Like he was so
oh yeah,
good.
he's like amazing, and
yeah.
he plays everything.
Every instrument.
every
Yeah.
fucking thing.
But so Nick Lang, he's producing like my music that I do on my own, like
Mhm.
not with Honeyham Jam.
Yeah.
And he's kind of running like a collective thing, and he's like bringing artists that want to start like making music
Mhm.
to like work with him, kind of thing. So yeah, I'd say he's on the lookout too. Like he's definitely coming up.
I like to
With
say I
his stuff.
don't hate Nick Lang anymore.
Yeah.
I got over
Just
being
put it on the
15.
record. Yeah. Yeah.
That's too funny. Like locally, down to funk. I was
Yeah.
gonna say I saw them at that show that Seller put on at the Aviary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Crazy.
so good.
Like super good. And gratuitous podcast.
Yeah.
Love.
I guess I have one more that kind of just came to mind, but I haven't seen them play in a long time, and they were all engineer students. They were called the New Engineers.
Oh,
But
really?
they played so good.
And Caleb was.
Not an engineer.
So they're not engineering
It's like they
students.
are
Oh.
They're just. I
They
don't know
were
where they
in
came
school,
from.
right?
Yeah,
so they were all really busy with their studies, I guess I assumed.
Yeah. So Caleb was a guitar player in our year.
Oh,
And then
okay.
I don't know where Eamon was. I don't know if he was still in high school or if he was taking a year off.
Oh, yeah.
But Simon was a year below us and he's still in high school when they last played here. And then they all went to like they went to McGill and I forget what the other one was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. And I emceed one of their shows with Gratuitous Platypus at the Aviary.
Love.
And I introduced Gratuitous Platypus and everybody. And at the time, the band Safe Sax, I also, well, we can talk about that in a bit, but I introduced them. And then when New Engineers was supposed to come on, I went up to the mic and they just came on without me asking. And I was like, oh, okay. And I just left the stage.
This next band needs no introduction, so I'm just gonna
I'm
leave.
just gonna leave.
Bye.
Oh god, I emceed one. I think Transcendence was the only show that I did that I like actually introduced people because there was like so many people playing at that show. But I get so nervous. Like I literally go up, I say the land acknowledgement, and I'm like, before that I'm like so anxious. I'm like, when we have land acknowledgement, I'm like, okay. We are on Treaty 6 territory, let's go, I can And then, introducing people, because usually then it's over. Then I'm like, okay, land acknowledgement's done, let's chill, like, it's fine. But yeah,
having to get back up there,
getting back up, I was like, next up, we have Bushcraft.
Well, can you hire me for a host next time? Like, MP or VP, whatever they call it? Like, what do they call it?
I want to get a comedian to do it like they did at Monsters.
Yeah, that was so good.
Super cool.
Even as he was just saying what he was supposed to say, it was all hilarious.
Yeah.
And I low-key wanted to comment to him on being like, great set, but it wasn't even his set.
Oh, yeah.
He was just talking.
That's so funny.
Anyways, how do you guys want people to feel when they listen to your music?
Oh, jeez, that's a hard question.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I feel when I play our music.
I'd say like I want them like dancing, like having a good time, like really just like engaged, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because like you're turning up all the time. Like I look at you, and you're jumping, and like you're having a good time.
Yeah, you can tell when a photo was taken on our set based on how like red and sweaty I am. Because like everyone else is really chill, and you guys are composed. And then if you look at video, I'm like either on the ground or 4 feet off of it.
Yeah, that's what I'd say. Like
Moving.
Most of the music we're playing is like moving around, like get up and dance kind of thing, like feel the vibe kind of thing. So
you guys think?
Yeah.
We are very funk orientated, and funk music is very danceable.
Yeah.
I would say that I want our music to be very easily listenable or listened.
It's like digestible.
Yeah, digestible.
Yeah,
that's the one
delicious.
thing.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's hard to find that medium, especially when you're in music school, to either to not be too much of a jazz wanker.
Yeah.
And also be like, a popcorn dance beat. So I think that I'm always trying to figure out how to still be danceable, but also bring in some of my chops, but not have everybody.
Yeah, it's like a subtle flex.
Yeah, not have people be like, "Where's the one?"
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. I also like to think, like, I can't watch our shows, you know what I mean? But I like to think that we don't take ourselves too seriously.
Yeah.
Like, we closed our last set with super bass.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Just to, like, see what would happen. Oh.
Yeah.
Pass me the mic.
Yeah, exactly. It's like there's a level of seriousness and silliness.
Yeah.
Oh, we do.
Yeah. Because, like, even though it was a silly song, like, we played it really well, I'd say. You know what I mean? And, like, people liked it, so.
Yeah.
I feel like that song plays on repeat in my head.
Yeah.
The background noise.
Yeah. Like this one's for the voice of the boom. So bad. But it's so when I was a child, I memorized all of the Nicki Minaj songs. I don't know why.
That's bad.
There was those
that
kids that were on Ellen for saying.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
And I was like, that's gonna be.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
In my
I remember that.
This one's for the boys in the boom system. Like 8.
You should have been at that Polar Park show.
No. Next time we'll be there. God, I'm super
WAP the other day on social media? The other Nicki Minaj song that you covered, like on TikTok?
Me?
Yeah. Didn't you cover something the other day in your car?
Oh, that was a while ago, but that was her like verse on Bottoms Up. You know, do you guys know that song? Bottoms Up? Trey song.
Couldn't just blurt it out, but
Yes.
Not like you guys can. Fuck.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, that was a while ago. I don't know.
Check you up on TikTok now.
Yeah, you can catch me on TikTok. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that we're always trying to find a way to both appeal to people who like live music as well as people who may not be as, receptive? I can't word right now. Who aren't as open to live music. I know there's a surprising, depressingly large amount of people who don't like listening to live music.
Yeah.
They would much rather prefer to listen to their safe recorded track of whatever they're listening to. So I think that we're always trying to make sure that we can still appeal to people who always come out for the live music as well as people who come out maybe because they just want to listen to it once and see how it is. So I think that's why we use super bass and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god, I've heard this song before, it's more engaging.
Yeah,
it's
so
like
different listening.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it sounded like a Journey song when we did it.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah,
it was
it is.
weird.
Interesting. Live music has such a power though, even if it's not serious, even if you're just like being goofy. Like I remember after COVID, I was with my friend Madden, just like in their apartment, and they like just whipped out their guitar and started singing, and I was like goosebumps, like almost crying. Like I was like, what? Like I forgot what live music felt like. Like what is happening?
Is this real human emotion?
Yeah.
Like authentic?
Literally,
what the heck? Too much. Too salty for my eyes.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to something. It's nothing.
Yeah, it's sometimes hard to realize that people enjoy live music when like you're playing with around audiences and they're like, it's too loud, or you see the one person
Oh god.
like plugging their ears. Oh, that hurts so much as a drummer.
Well, it's like I'll be like working at home
Much
and
as
my
a drummer.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's like you're not feeling it. What am I doing here?
Feel it, guys.
Might as well just pull out a drum machine. It's like
Yeah.
So what's your favorite song you guys have ever written yourselves?
I think it's time to break out Spotify.
Yeah, if you need to.
Favorite song written. I feel like we should talk about Blast and Trip Trap.
Trip Trap.
Yeah.
You guys wrote Trip Trap?
No.
Oh.
So
I was like, hold
as,
on. That takes it to an even bigger level.
as we mentioned before, that like we take songs, we cover them, and then over the course of busking, we just eventually transmogrify into like whatever. So all the songs have the original titles, and we always credit the original artist. But in no way is it even like remotely similar to what we're doing. But we these are both songs that are Wen brought. What was it? Like the first like couple of weeks we were playing, right?
Yeah.
Where did you find them?
Spotify.
Oh.
and YouTube and interviews.
Gotcha. Yeah. And we're just like he brought these like slap songs by Marcus Miller into our like rehearsal space, and we learned them. And we played them on White Ave, and they got so completely different because these are one of the first songs we played. So it's been like 2 years that they're unrecognizable. One of them has like a 9-minute bass solo. That's all Wen. And I, on stage, if you look at, there's video of us playing at the Grindstone, I leave the stage and I come back later because I'm like, I'm not doing anything for like 10 minutes.
Here you go, Wen.
Yeah. Those are my favorite. That's also the one we played at the Bass Coffee House.
That's the one?
To flex
Okay.
on Anthony. Yeah.
It
We got to impress
It worked.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Favorite songs.
And favorite song ever of all time.
Yeah, that
ever
too.
to exist.
That's so
On this
hard.
planet.
I know. And it's only one. Not
I don't
two.
even know if I
Do you guys
can
have,
answer. Do I answer
do you
that?
have one?
Yeah.
That is tough.
Actually, I do
Me too.
have one that kind of like, it's one of those songs that every time I turn it on, it has a clear vibe that I enjoy every time. It's the vibe of the sun, summertime, feeling the sun on your skin kind of vibe. And so if it doesn't bring you a smile, what's it called though? That's the thing.
That is such a hard question.
Okay.
I like I like the song "Music" by Benny Sings.
Oh, I love Benny.
You love Benny Sings?
I love
You've never
Benny.
really expressed much interest.
Yeah,
in
we don't
Benny.
talk about it.
We don't talk about Benny, bro. I love Benny. He's
Let's
like my
talk more
favorite.
about Benny.
He's like this fucking, what is he? He's like from Eastern Europe or something?
Yeah, he's like Mac DeMarco adjacent, I guess,
basically,
in vibe.
Yeah.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah.
He's got a higher pitched voice, but he's got like this, he's got a city pop aesthetic, if you guys know what that is. So it's more like, kind of like Japanese 90s funk a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that.
But the song's basically just him talking. The first lines are, I hear they say there's a lot of things you can do in one day, but things tend to fall apart. And then it's like the whole song is just music will help me get through this. Is the whole song. It's like, I'm in music school.
That reminded me, I think, of my answer. Did you know the Roots album Things Fall Apart?
No.
Oh, okay. That's the one that has Dynamite on it.
Okay.
Oh.
We do a cover of a song by the Roots that is like, even that is so weird.
It's so different.
So different.
So good.
I didn't know there was an original song.
Yeah.
I thought the one, like, Nian sent a YouTube video probably like 2 years ago, and I was like, we should cover this. Actually, that's happened twice. That he sent a video and we were like, we should cover this, and it just didn't happen with the who we had at the time. And then we came back to them both, and Anthony was like, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
And it like worked out perfectly.
And now he used it for his rep jury.
Yeah.
Yeah, for one of your
My
finals.
final performance.
Yeah.
He got graded on it.
But yeah, speaking of the Roots, there's a song called Essay Woman off of their second album, I think it is. And it's just Black Thought rapping, or like scatting a line, and then one of the instruments plays it back to him.
Yeah.
And it's like a game or like a challenge between the whole band. Oh my god. I lose my mind every time. I know every single part of the song, but I'm like, oh, how do you do that?
Call and response, right?
Yeah, exactly. They can talk about Wolfpack all day, but I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll go there.
What about you, Wen?
It's really difficult. It always changes.
You just say one off the top of your head.
Recently, I'm listening to Snarky Puppy. I love their Shofukan. That tune's like inspired by a Japanese hotel.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
Interesting.
Yeah, I think the songwriter was the bass player of the band. He was in Europe. He was traveling. Then he was in this Japanese hotel in Europe, and he's like, he wrote that with like a fusion of, because I think he's American, so it's like a fusion of everything. With a Japanese taste.
He's crazy.
Wow.
You did that for the performance ensemble, didn't you?
We did What About Me?
Oh, okay. That one's still like crazy. It was crazy watching them play that.
I have to break it down so slow.
It's the one thing about music. It's pretty easy if you're patient enough to play it like at a mind-numbingly slow speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love walking by in our university and hearing like Wen play a final, and I'm like, ooh, I've never heard that before.
You in on those?
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be another Drake song.
No.
Yeah, so Hotline Bling.
Hotline Bling, man, got me through some tough times.
That's funny.
I just want to say in Hotline Bling, in their music video, they actually stole an artist's work. You know how they had all those like
Boxes.
squares and stuff like that?
Yeah.
It was kind of like an artistic idea that they like somehow stole, and they were almost I think Drake was he was like sued on it or something and ended up winning, so it was kind of like one of those situations.
He's a sketchy
Know,
guy.
right?
You like
Somebody
Drake,
else
huh?
Okay, I take it back, my bad.
I don't know if it was like James Turrell or anything like that, but I know James Turrell is like huge, so I don't think he'd want to go and like sue anyone, James Turrell. But if you look up James Turrell's work, it's just like the music video.
Literally, the day of like the Drake concert, my friend was like, want to go? Like, let's get tickets. Like, Facebook Marketplace, like, whatever, nosebleeds. Spent, like, $300 for these nosebleed tickets. But I was like, Roy Woods, like, he was opening it.
Okay,
I like Roy Woods. I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Paid, like, $300 to see Drake walk around a stage that had, like, a cell phone projected on it. And he just, like, marched around.
That's hip.
And everyone's like, I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I need to go home now. Why did I do this?
You shouldn't have said Drake.
Yeah,
Take it back.
Yeah, take it back.
Right now.
Okay. All time, I'd say it's like up there for one of my favorite songs. I could always listen to it, kind of thing. Down by Jay Sean and Lil Wayne. It's an old song.
Yeah.
but that's one I've always listened to. Can always listen to.
Bless me.
Bless you.
Double bless me. Sorry about that.
And then right now, a song that just came out by J. Cole and Bia. It's called London. I think J. Cole's like verse on it is just like crazy. So I like listening. I have that on repeat like all day. And then favorite song I've written for Honey Ham Jam would be Ride With Me.
Yeah.
And then, which will come out soon.
Yes, it will. We have it recorded.
Yeah, we'll have it happening. And then personally, like on my own stuff, I wrote the song called Say My Name, which I really like. So yeah.
I like that one too.
Yeah, it's a little more chill, pop R&B kind of vibe.
I tell like once a week I'm in the car and it comes up on my like
comes up
playlist. Oh. I'm like,
oh, you have it added?
I know this guy.
And you don't skip it.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
There are occasionally it's like listen to my song. Okay.
That is a weird part about music school is like getting random EPs like shoved in your face every day.
Yeah.
And it's so hard to give like constructive criticism or any kind of input for certain people.
Yeah, I hate to say, but you're a single song.
No, you suck.
I feel like favorite songs of all time: "Bodies" by Car Seat Headrest,
mm-hmm.
"Painkillers" by Rainbow Kitten Surprise. Such a good song. Listen to it on the way home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I don't know if
very
you guys
good.
want to.
Yeah. Those are the top two. Lucy?
Oh god, yeah, I'm gonna have to bring out my Spotify as well.
Speaking of car seat headrest, I'm not going to tell this whole story because I think my mom might watch this. But
Sorry, Mom.
yeah. But
I remember it.
for some reasons, I fell asleep at a car seat headrest concert underneath one of the monitors. I was lying against a monitor, like one of the like 10-foot ones at like a festival, and I fell asleep and I woke up after it was done. And I say that I saw a car seat headrest, but I didn't even see them on stage. I was like asleep the whole time. Yeah, it's funny.
Literally,
it's a loud band.
At Threefold, Gratuitous Platypus played that song, and it's like it's been like one of my favorite songs since it came out, and I was like absolutely hammered off my face. And anyways, my friend also, because like you never go somewhere and like everybody knows like the lyrics to like a car seat headrest song, like what everybody did. My friend was there and like it was like she's like such a big fan, like car seat headrest fan too. And it was like bliss, pure contentment.
Going back to those memories, it feels so good.
Yeah.
Well, I pulled up a song for one of my favorites. Block Party is such a good base for some music, and they have this one song called Bloom, and I remember picking it out this one moment in my life where like I truly felt like I was going through a new phase, and the song is all about like, I hope your flowers bloom, I hope you grow up to be everything that you want to be. I hope your flowers bloom. I don't know, it's such a beautiful song, especially for anyone kind of going through that in their moment of life. Let your flowers bloom.
I had that kind of moment with like raindrops keep falling on my head.
Yeah.
last year. It was like, what was it? Because I'm free, nothing's worrying me or something.
Yeah.
It was like,
That song just makes me think of like Spider-Man.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah,
I felt like
totally
Spider-Man a little bit.
Wow.
And in like an ideal world, where would you like to see Honey Ham Jam in the future?
Spotify.
As long as we're on Spotify.
I don't think that there's a limit to like what we want to do. You know what I mean? If we get offered the Madison Square Garden show, I would play that so fast. I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of see this band has been very malleable, I would say. We haven't really ever stuck to a specific genre. It's just kind of like whatever we do with funk elements, I would say. So yeah, I feel as though with this band, and I think a lot of us do, which is good, that we feel comfortable with bringing in stuff that we're listening to, stuff that we want to try out, and everybody is normally okay with it.
Yeah.
So I kind of see this band going where I've always wanted to go, so I could see us playing like at Folk Fest or something like that, and then who knows where
it's like it's always one step up, you know what I mean?
Totally. And what advice do you guys have to give to young musicians?
Practice with metronome.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my
I didn't take that advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hire a bass player that practices with a metronome. I don't know, like, stick to it. This band, like, we were very vaguely together the first year we were doing this in 2020, and we just did it a lot. But every year we've done it, it's gotten so much bigger. And it just, one of the best pieces of advice I ever got was to get a gig, just talk to people that are there and you'll get the next one.
No, it's so true though. Every time with my art, every time I go to an art gig event, somehow it leads to the next one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, like Santa Claus gave us a gig.
Right?
So weird.
Miracles are everywhere.
Yeah.
Christmas gifts.
Especially instead. Yeah.
The funny thing about that one was that the whole time we were playing there, we didn't actually have any monitors for ourselves, so we didn't know how loud we were playing.
Yeah.
So maybe every one or two songs, we'd have somebody come up and be like, "Hey guys, you need to turn down."
Yeah.
And so Santa pulls up, and we're like, "Oh shit,
Oh,
we're
God.
definitely on his
Another
naughty
one.
list, definitely." You know.
Pissed off Santa.
So.
Yeah. I say advice. I'd say something that I struggled with up until like last November was like just comparing to other artists.
Oh man, that's
And
so
like
time.
the whole like practicing until you're really good kind of thing. It like really brought my creative side down because I was like, okay, I can't be creative until I'm like really good, and I just never thought I was really good, and it just was this constant cycle kind of thing.
So no metronome?
Like definitely metronome, but like be okay with where you're at and like still be creative even like through those phases kind of thing.
practice to your own metronome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I walk to the beat of my own drum.
Yeah.
I would probably say just keep with it and that thing with comparing yourself. I think a lot of people in arts and everywhere, especially nowadays with social media and stuff like that, you can find a 6-year-old who can play way better than you.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So constantly compare yourself to yourself and where you've been previously, and also don't get too cocky. When it comes to especially being in the music industry, you're going to work with those people that you shot down and like put down most likely sometime in the near future.
It's already bitten us in the ass before and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
I'm not going to name any names, but anyone who's at MacEwan Music will know what I'm talking about. But there's a certain country guitar player's vocalist that we all know who has effectively banished himself from the music scene for just being a dick to everybody. Yeah. So don't be a dick to everybody. Don't even be a dick to some people.
I'm a fan of Andy Schoaf.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Andy Schoaf.
Yeah.
So we're not talking about Andy Schoaf, but
no, he's a great artist. You should check him out. Good storytelling music.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. It's just keep at it and don't be too cocky and don't be too humble. And rock stars are just shitty pop stars of nowadays. So for the most part. So just keep on that grind. Don't stick with that lick.
Yeah, no kidding. And just keep working. Do you guys love playing live, or do you guys get scared when you play live? What's the experience? I personally, shake a little. I get sweaty and shit. I get nervous playing live.
For me, if we're like rehearsing like for a couple months, I am chilling the whole time. Like I'm not nervous at all. But the night of, like seconds before we get on stage, I'm like gagging. I'm like, oh my god! And, like every time, I'm like so close, and it's
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Like I'll be like talking to them. I'm like, hey, are we up? Oh my god! And then like, but then I get up there, and then I'm chilling, and then I'm fine again. But it's always like that. Like 15 to 20 minutes, like right before the show, I'm like, oh my god, like I don't know what's going on.
I start gagging when I'm at home. I don't do it when I get to the gig, but when I'm at home, like showering and getting dressed, I'm like,
yeah.
Well, Wen and I are both like performance majors, so this is like part of the degree that we're doing, and I was like pants shittingly terrified of being on stage up until first year, and it just takes practice.
Oh, big time, yeah.
Like it just like being on stage, and eventually when like in one of our classes now we have to be on stage in front of a bunch of our peers and musicians and a bunch of profs and like be creative at like 9:30 a.m. and then if you don't, you lose marks and stuff like that. And so after that, and then going to a gig later at night where you've practiced for this and some of the people in the crowd and there's lights on you so you can't see everybody, it's like this is
not
nice.
as bad at all.
Yeah. There's always a bigger fish of fear. You know what I mean?
And if I play something, I make a mistake, I just get used to it now.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I saw that. All right, what's next?
Yep.
What's next?
I release
really keep going. Don't stop.
Yeah.
I always release that energy in my face. Like if I fuck up, you'll always see it in my face.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like for a split second, like.
Oops.
That's like, just curious. When was the last time you guys like listened to a song and just like listened to it? Didn't think about like the instruments and the and the notes and your instrument and why they're doing that. Like,
it's so hard.
do you remember the last time that you just like, or like live music, you just went and you weren't like looking at the.
It's almost impossible to do that with live music. I find, because you're always like watching what they do and you see them as a person before they go on.
Looking at their gear.
Yeah. Like,
if I see a pedal board on stage, I'm like, nothing matters to me in the moment. I'm like, what does he have?
tunnel vision.
Oh man.
I find that in general though, I even though I'm a composition major, I try to look at a lot of music from kind of like a regular person's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
I actually struggle a lot with trying to deconstruct a lot of music that I listen to because I feel as though it will lose a lot of its magic that it originally has. So I find that generally I'll try to listen to music and just enjoy it for what it is in general, because that's how most people enjoy it. And if you get too much into that deconstruction area, you just get too much in your head and it gets too technical, and then you want to add in all these like little flares and stuff like that.
Yeah. Man, that's a hard question.
I know. I feel like for me, I'm not entirely like looking at the structure of the song yet. Still, like I guess first year for me, like I was doing that a lot just because it was like first year of music and like that's what we were doing, right? Like analyzing a lot of the music. And then it just like drained me out and I did not like it. And like I lost like a lot of my like creativity and stuff like that with music. I just like lost that kind of like inspiration kind of thing. But I took a year off right after first year. And I think that really helped because like now I kind of still...
Good timing too.
Yeah.
With COVID.
I missed COVID.
You got lucky, didn't
But yeah, I say like I still listen to music now and I kind of just listen to it and like just enjoy it, and if I really like it, then I decide I'm like, okay, like I want to figure out what's going on. But yeah, I say I still do that. Like I just listen to the music and kind of just really enjoy it for what it is before I analyze it, I guess. Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but like I feel like if there's a guitar in the song, that's all I can hear. And if it's more common there's not a guitar in the song, then there's not drums or bass. You know what I mean? So if I'm listening to like R&B or rap or something, I can feel it instead of just trying to like analyze everything.
Yeah, same to me.
Yeah.
When I listen to like Chick Corea playing piano, I'm listening to the music. But if there's a beat, I'm like, oh, 1, 2.
Like a muscle memory reaction almost.
Okay, well.
Yeah.
I don't know about the notes. I'm not a musician, but I go to a lot of like metal shows because I work for Hollow Point, so.
Oh yeah.
Metal all the time, and
fun.
like moshing is so much fun because like even like dancing, I'm like I don't know about the I don't know about the everyone's like banging their head and I'm like they're like and I'm like oh. Like, I'm looking around like I don't know about the notes like
for me whenever I go to those events it's just like my neck hurts afterwards and that's pretty much it. Like I move, you don't move your arms, you don't move your legs or anything. Just
like at Annihilation I was like, but how do you know when to nod your head? He's like, every time Chris, like, does this. And I was like, okay. I'm, like, watching, like, yes! But,
oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, so
or
I feel
you
like
could be
there's,
like
like,
that
pros
one
and
guy
cons.
who was, like, ribbiting around like, he was, like, a rabbit or something. Or, like, he's just jumping around, like, getting down on his hands and knees, pushing through people,
front of the stage,
running around everywhere. Some people are, like, staying to the back and they're, like, keeping to their own or whatever.
Yeah.
This guy didn't give a shit. And there's a few of them that are like that, too. And that's the point, you know, is to get out there and get rowdy.
There's definitely levels at metal shows. There's, like, people way in the back, and then there's the people kind of on the outside, and they
Yeah.
do like the subtle head nod, and then there's like the bigger ones, and then
Ben, my
there's people
little
that do
brother.
like the
Just like a
hips
yeah.
into it, and
Yeah.
then there's like
Yeah.
the people right
Like
on
the
the
nose
with like their
breakers.
like leg on the stage, and they're like entire line.
Everything,
Yeah.
they're 100%.
Yeah, separate levels.
These layers.
I usually like to find myself at that last level there.
Lucy goes crazy.
Don't test me.
It's your cardio.
Yeah, no
exactly,
kidding.
yeah.
It's a real workout. Holy mackerel. I'll be sweating like crazy.
Anyways, a couple more questions for
Mhm.
you guys. Who are some of your guys' favorite visual artists locally?
Yeah.
Ooh, I do have an answer for this. The woman that did our logo, and she did some, and she did some posters for us, and is hopefully going to do shirts as soon as we can figure out a day to actually do that. Amanda Komarniski.
Oh.
And I know that last name is a bunch, but Komarnski. If I spell it, we've been friends for like 15 years. If I spell that wrong, like, she'll block me. She'll be so mad. But yeah, she does amazing work. She's the only person that I know that, like, probably works twice as hard as any full-time art student that I know. Like, it's stupid.
Oh, I gotta meet this woman.
She's crazy.
I'll show
It's
you.
hard to find people who are doing it and doing it 100%.
Yeah, she's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a couple like friends that do like a lot of like videography and photography kind of stuff. So Millen Kalra, he does a lot of.
We also went to high school with Millen.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, he does a lot of well, he does like all the photography for the stuff I do on my like original stuff, and then my friend John Ukog, he just really got into videography and like photography, maybe like the last 6-7 months almost, I think. But he like made a video for me for my last show, and it's like really really good. So those are two guys that are really good at what they do. So.
Well, we also have a personal like band photographer, Moataz Kalaf, who we went to high school with. He just goes by Taz. But
cool.
fun. I didn't tell you guys about this, but I tried to pay him for the shoot on Monday, and he's like, "No,
What?
don't worry about
wow.
it." I'm
What
like,
a
"What a
G.
real
Oh
one!"
my god.
Which is like, pay your artists, please do.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I don't have to, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He's done amazing work.
Sometimes you can pay him back in other ways though too. You know. Like,
Yeah.
Just keep the community going.
Mm-hmm.
Get him a donair or a shawarma.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, fall sandwich. That's my favorite down White Ave. I go for
Oh,
a
yeah.
fall sandwich
Those are
every
good. Yeah,
time.
Yeah, but we've made Taz weather very cold temperatures to take photos of us on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was super windy that day.
Which
Yeah.
we played this set at the Alfresco Market on 104th Ave,
Yeah.
and there was those like tiny tornado things that like kick dust around.
Yeah.
On our very last song we were playing, which is this like ripping Marcus Miller thing that we play, there was a tornado that landed on all of us, and Taz is like shooting there, and he has a massive afro, and it was blowing everywhere. And he was like trying to hold the camera steady, and me and Wen were going as like fast as possible, and there was leaves shooting everywhere.
Oh my god.
And I still have leaves in my guitar case from that day.
Oh.
Like it's still impacting me.
I actually
this day.
Yeah.
I had leaves in my suitcase for a while, and then I finally got rid of them because they were like getting on my like floor in my room.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. There's a video of that online somewhere.
Oh,
Yeah. I think it's on our YouTube. It's hilarious.
Kind of sounds beautiful, actually.
Yeah.
Like, kind of a perfect moment to catch
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
time.
my hair is also like everywhere too.
Oh,
So.
Everywhere.
yeah, it was kind
True
of
rock star.
It was like our cue to go harder because everybody was
Everyone's
backing up.
leaving.
Yeah.
Even the sellers were backing up, and we were just like, oh,
Keep
this
going.
song.
It felt like Titanic.
Titanic.
It's sinking. Everyone's evacuating.
Yeah.
So I got one more kind of interesting questions for you guys. As a band, do you have any funny stories? Anything silly that's happened that you guys are all together for?
I'm sure we do.
I mean, yeah, but off the top of your head.
Trying to think. I don't know. We have this guy that Anthony wasn't here for this again, but we had this guy that books us a lot of gigs. I'm sorry. You should have been there in the first year. You couldn't have been there. But this guy that books us for gigs, Scott Putnam, who's just like he's really been like the Honey Ham Jam dad ever since we started playing.
We haven't talked to him for a while, but
And the first time we met him
oh yeah,
was at the River City Revival Jam, and we did this thing that is like I don't know if it's cool or not, but we we're a pretty well-rehearsed band, and we're pretty experienced musicians, and we go to these amateur jams to just kind of flex on everybody and see if it would get us gigs. And we used to play like 3 or 4 in a day.
Yeah.
And we go to Blues on White, and we go to River City and stuff like that. And this was December 2020, and it was really, really cold out, and there was like a few people in the bar. And we just finished playing a really heavy song. We got off a stage, and Scott came out to us and was like, I'm a booker for Getaway Gigs. Can I get your contact info? Very drunk. Like, he smelled so much of whiskey. And I opened up a contact on him that just said Scott, and I gave it to him because that's the only information he gave me. Mm-hmm. He looked at it and said, yeah, it looks good, handed it back, and then left. And no information, just said Scott on it. And so I was like, guys, could you watch my gear? And I sprinted downtown in like -40 in middle of December, and I was like, Scott, I need your phone number. He's like, oh yes, say less. And he's gotten us like a lot of gigs.
Thank God you got his phone number.
Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah.
Who'd have thunk, eh? That moment could have just gone by.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to think.
I think one mishap that we had on stage was the grindstone.
Oh,
We were doing
no.
Sweatpants, Childish Gambino.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
there's this part in there that like he just pauses. And
Yeah.
then
And we just pause.
we gotta come back in, but it's
Yeah.
like a 2/4 bar or something. And we just came in like 3 different spots.
Oh,
Like,
Yeah.
Wayne came in, Cam came in,
And
I came in.
And then we were all just kind of like, what the
Yeah,
fuck
and
do
then
we
I
do
stopped.
right now?
I stopped rapping it, and then I completely like froze on the lyrics.
How do you
And I was
pop
like,
up for that?
oh my God. And then I just like,
Restarted.
I didn't even realize I restarted it because like
Oh,
I
you
just
didn't?
found a word that came to my head that like was in
Oh,
the
the
song.
first
Yeah.
word, yeah.
So I just said it on one, and then just like redid the whole thing. And,
Yeah.
yeah, it ended up happening.
And,
but
and
it
then
was
It
pretty
worked,
funny.
though.
Yeah.
yeah, but we had some musicians in the audience that I was
Yeah.
talking to, and they're like, yeah, I haven't seen anything. I'm like,
Yeah. And I was like, all
They
right.
like
I thought
that.
we were doing like some kind of weird
Some
polyrhythm.
weird-
Yeah.
jazz shit.
Yeah.
You can always get away with it by being like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, that was jazz.
Yeah.
But
That was
I
totally
gave
jazz, yeah.
Ian like the biggest look. I was just like, oh
Bro.
my God, what's going on? Like,
yeah.
but,
There's
yeah.
been a few occasions where we'll play somewhere and the drum beater will fall off.
Oh yeah.
So-
many times.
Yeah, we were playing at Temple,
Temple,
Yeah.
and we were playing the song that we talked about before when Wen has like a 9-minute bass solo.
Fat bass solo.
Yeah.
We were just chilling. It was our last song. I was like, yeah, this show went pretty well. And I wasn't doing anything. I was just standing on stage. And the beater fell off of Nian's kick drum.
So first off, the bass drum disappears. The snare drum's still there. Then the hi-hat disappears.
Because he's like this. Like his hand's up and he's doing this with his other hand.
Yeah,
And then the
was
snare
playing-
disappears. And then it's just one by himself.
I was playing. I was like,
Yeah.
He's like, where's my metronome?
Exactly, yeah. And so I walked up to the mic and like I wasn't even doing anything, so like I guess they'll try and save it. And Reddit said, "Oh my God, I guess we lost our drummer." That's when Nian fixed it, and he hit like the loudest thing, and I was like, "Oh shit, never mind, there he is."
I'm kind
Bring
of
it
like,
back.
Yeah,
I was kind of
that's
like,
so
my,
funny.
fuck you.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I'm still here.
Oh,
Yeah.
That was funny.
yeah.
It was funny seeing Wen like in the middle, just like look behind him and be like, "Oh my God, what the hell?"
Yeah, I've made that mistake twice now, and so I'm going to now start bringing my own pedals with our gigs.
Play too hard.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Kill.
I gotta support Len.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And actually at our Grindstone gig, the drunk guys who you could constantly hear talking
Yeah.
during the same solo, or I guess same song, different solo I guess, but they started talking over Wen. And it was kind of quiet, and it's a small room, so you could hear
Yeah.
them. And so I started like whacking the shit out of my snare drum, trying to shut them up, which was kind of funny.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And the name Honey Ham Jam.
Where did it
What's
go?
up with that?
I had a misinterpretation of what this was. So I thought that you just hit like you know on like Siri when you like just like hit like the words at the top in the 3
Yeah.
bars. I thought Nian just hit that a couple times and I was like, oh, Honey Hand is good. But is that actually how it happened?
No.
That's
Oh,
what I've been
that's
telling
what I-
everybody.
Yeah, that's what I thought happened, and
That's
then I
what Cam told
realized,
me, so-
yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Okay, well,
Let's
that-
break open the truth tonight.
Exactly, yeah.
Big picture podcast.
That honestly sounds better than the actual story. I just like alliterations. I think that they stick.
Yeah.
So
They really do.
Oh.
Yeah.
that's why I came
That's
up
not
with
as
it.
fun.
So you made it up. You like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, and he just named the group chat that. And I feel like this wasn't even supposed to be a band. We were just like we were bored and wanted to play some music, like Nian said. So I think the jam part was just like that wasn't even part of the name.
Yeah, probably
It
not.
was just like
Honey ham jam.
I used to like honey ham as a child.
yeah. And it was funny when we were on White Ave. Like we have a lot of stuff now to show you what our name is. But before we even had Instagram, people would be like, "What's your name?" I'm like, "It's Honey Ham Jam." I'm like, what the hell? What the hell is that?
Yeah, but it sticks with you, right? Because there's
Yeah.
so many band names that we've heard. But like even when Lucy and I first like heard about you guys, we're like, funk band, Honey Ham Jam. Like after you left, everyone was like, what? Like we were just so like
Honey ham jam.
Exactly, yeah.
No, but then you remember it. Like
Exactly. That's
yeah,
the
you'll never
idea.
forget it after that. It kind of sounds delicious in my mouth too.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
And-
potent energy.
do you guys want to talk a little bit about what's going on at Honey Jam?
Sure.
White
Well,
Ave?
I mean,
Oh yeah.
yeah, we just talked to the owner of Honey Jam, who is now obviously our favorite restaurant as a band. But we just did a recording there that should be posted up soon, and we highly suggest everybody go check it out. It's a really cool place.
Yeah.
Good food, I've been told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been there a few times. Yeah, it's like Korean. It's Korean food. It's connected to Hanjan, the Korean restaurant.
Not to be confused, Honey Jam, right? And Honey Ham Jam and Han Jam.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
3 separate things.
So honey.
Oh my
Tour
god, that's
businesses.
Oh, I
awesome.
almost messed it up.
Yeah, it's hard.
So Hanjan is the restaurant, like the Korean restaurant,
yeah.
and then they are connected to Honey Jam, which is on White Ave, and they call it like Round 2 as well.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's like
It's in a base. It's like right next to Little Plant Shop.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
so you go down there, and then they got like
Situation.
some more like appetizer stuff, and then like on the weekends it gets pretty busy, and like they got good music going on, stuff like that. So it's really fun.
Yeah, and I never heard of this place till some people were like, "Are you like sponsored
Yeah.
by this bar?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck are you
Yeah.
talking about?"
Well, when he told me, I was like, oh, like Round 2. Oh, that's awesome, man. Like, I was like,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
yeah.
Like, because I go there with my friends like quite often. So yeah, it was
pretty
really
sick
cool.
place. Keep an eye out for those videos though. They'll be posted quite very soon.
Yeah, they're.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, next few days here, so like really soon.
Yep.
Sweet. Hopefully we'll have them in the intro.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and we're all wearing very fancy sweaters. They are very similar to Kugi sweaters, and they've been given to us by my girlfriend, who runs a vintage Depop store
Oh, so cool.
at Red Licorice Vintage on Depop, and
Red Licorice Vintage!
She also
Yeah.
has an Instagram as well at Red Licorice Vintage as well.
Yep.
So yeah, check them out too. Got some pretty good prices and some pretty nice threads.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That
I
is so
think
fun.
that's all our questions we have for
Yeah.
today.
Any last words?
No.
No.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah.
This is so much fun.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. It's a really cool spot.
Support local art, please.
Support local art.
Yeah, book
check
us
out
for your birthday parties.
Yeah.
and check out Honey Ham Jam on
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Twitter.
So
No, not
Instagram,
Facebook.
YouTube, and Facebook and TikTok is all Honey Ham Jam, spelled the way you
Oh, you
think
guys
it
have
was.
TikTok too.
Yes, we do. Instagram is Honey Jam Ham. Don't ask me why it's like that.
Yeah.
I'm very sorry.
But if you search up Honey Ham Jam,
You'll
it'll show
find
up.
it. You'll find it.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Click on the
Yeah,
B.
that's true.
Do you want to plug your personal
Yeah,
music too?
my
No.
yeah, and then I do some original stuff on the side too, so you can find me on Instagram at acruzin, ACRUZINNN.
Yeah.
I do like some rap and then like some pop R&B stuff. Is what I'm kind
Yeah.
of trying to release a single every month.
Yeah, man.
Whoa, good for you, eh?
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on, guys.
Thanks for having
I'm
us.
super excited to have you guys, and that ended up being such a great conversation. So thanks so
Yeah.
much for coming on and sharing all your stories.
Of course. Thanks for having us.
And we out.
Yeah.
Bye.
Peace.